Hello, welcome to Savva and Wright live tonight. I am Savva. That is Wright. How are you, Mr. Henry Wright?
I'm very well, thank you. Good to be back on the streams. Feel like it's been a few days. Well, it has been a few days, but yeah, good to be back. New show, lots to talk about.
And it looks like I've got a new tan for the new show, doesn't it? It does look like I'm absolutely...
You look like you've been in IB for about 5 years.
I know, glowing. It's this new light. I'll sort it out properly another time, but it is what it is. Right, so first of all, welcome everybody. This is Henry and myself, our new show. This is not a Spurs show. This is a football show, which is the strapline which I decided which was going to be very successful across all of the world. Henry, this show we're going to use to talk about all things Premier League, all things Champions League. The season obviously kicks off in 3.5 weeks. Up until then, we'll be looking at signings, controversies, pre-season friendlies, predictions. So let's get straight in, if that's all right with you, mate.
Yeah, let's go.
Perfect. Just to say to anybody in the chat, we have generously, just because Henry and I are that generous, we have said that if we get the show to 250 likes before we hit the end of the show, we will give a free Spurs shirt of your choice to a randomly selected person. Now, let me just clarify, a randomly selected person is done by a StreamYard generator. So what I all need you to do, I'm going to type in a code at the bottom. I need everybody that wants to be in with a chance of winning has to type this in. If you do, it will automatically put you into the draw. It's that. Hashtag Savva Henry. Okay? Hashtag Savva/Henry. That's 250 likes. Feel free to keep smashing that like button. And please remember, as always, on all my shows, any super chats, any super stickers, 50% does go to the British Heart Foundation. Henry, let's start. Premier League. I think there's only one place to start tonight, right? Chelsea. Mm-hmm. I keep hearing the phrase that so-and-so has won the transfer window. Would it be fair to say that Chelsea have won today's transfer window? Sterling, 45 million for a guy that scored over 140 goals for Man City in 7 years.
He's their second all-time top goal scorer, isn't he? In the Premier League era, behind I think he's about 15 goals behind Aguero or 20 goals behind Aguero.
Wow! I mean, look, fantastic numbers. And then on top of that, Chelsea are being greedy, and Koulibaly landed, according to Fabrizio Romano, landed about an hour, 2 hours ago, and is doing the first part of his medical tomorrow.
And
Kimpembe, Ake, they're looking at Gnabry. Talk to me. What sort of statement are Chelsea making here with these types of signings?
So they've got rid of. Who they got rid of? Rudiger, Christensen.
Yeah.
Aspilicueta is pretty much going. And Alonso's going. It's a statement bringing in Koulibaly. Personally, I think a 5-year contract on a 31-year-old is a bit. It's going to be what 30, nearly 37 by then when you look at his birthday. That's a big contract. But he's an experienced centre half. He comes in. He's pretty much done in all the competitions with Napoli. He's been in the Champions League. He's been in the Europa League. He's done well in Italy. He's, a Rolls-Royce centre-back. Forget all the compilations you'll see on Twitter of him rolling on the floor. He's a mustard centre-back. For me, I just think I just personally wouldn't give him the 5-6 year contract. I think it's a bit excessive. You look at Raheem Sterling, one of the best wingers in the Premier League. England international, carried England for the first 5 or 6, for the first 3 or 4 rounds in the Euros last year. He's a good goal scorer as well. Yeah. You got to remember, Chelsea last year didn't have a massive amount of firepower after January, right? So Lukaku obviously had that message he wanted to join Inter Milan. He's now left. Timo Werner's been a bit hit and miss. He's been firing blanks. Kai Havertz, for me, is a top player. He will come better. Ziyech looks like he's joining Milan. So you're going to have next season, you're going to have Kai Havertz, Mason Mount can play in that front three, Pulisic. You throw in Raheem Sterling in the mix. I think they will strengthen again. I don't think, even if they sign Koulibaly, Kimpembe, and Sterling, I can still see them getting another 3 or 4 players. The only thing for me is, looking at Chelsea, is, in my personal opinion, I don't think Tuchel gets the most out of his attacking players. Right?
I agree.
Defensively, they're sound. You know, he did Man City over in the Champions League final, a mastermind. It was a proper, counter-attacking style. He's improved Reece James. He's improved Ben Chilwell. He got Rudiger on a monster season. But when you look at offensively, Lukaku, it hasn't really worked out. Some would say Kai Havertz, it hasn't worked out. Timo Werner, it hasn't worked out. Hudson-Odoi, a bit hit and miss. Even Pulisic has gone a bit cold. So I just feel like we'll have to wait and see with these.
Don't you feel I felt like the first half of the season, or at least up until Ben Chilwell got that injury, they looked on fire. I mean, you know when people say about Tottenham, they say, Conte, all of his attacking comes from the 2 wing backs. That's what Chelsea did to a T last year. You had Chilwell and James. I feel like there was a 5-10 game period where they were both scoring and assisting every game. But like you said, I think the problem with Chelsea is he rotates that front 3 a lot. And I don't know whether or not that he gets that right. But Sterling going into that front 3, Mount's another year experience now.
He's going to sign a contract as well. Mason Mount.
Absolutely. And if you look, I don't know what you feel, but I thought Havertz had a really good season. Now, people will just go, but did he get 20 goals? But I don't feel that that's Havertz's game. Havertz isn't the bloke that's going to get you 20 goals, 15 assists. But he can play everywhere on the park. And I thought that certainly the back end of the year, he showed signs of why they paid such big money. Do you think there's any merit in that?
His movement off the ball, he gets into so many good positions. And people forget he's quite a tall lad. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", but he's so agile to move in and out of positions. He will get better and better and better. I just feel like, if you look at it right now, do Chelsea have enough firepower? That's my first question I'd ask. With Sterling, he's not, he scores a lot of goals, but he's not an out-and-out, number 9, is he really? Timo Werner's not an out-and-out number 9. I know City, before they had Haaland, didn't used to play with another 9, but with Sterling, Mahrez, Foden, Grealish, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, you're going to get goals galore. I just feel like, unless they go out, which I think they will go out and get a number 9, I feel like, do they have enough firepower? Number 1. And my second question would be, back to Sterling, do you think he goes there to Chelsea now and he's now the main man? Do you think Sterling will lead the front line and play through the middle? Or do you think he'll play, because he can play anywhere? Guardiola had him rotating every single game. Left wing, right wing, through the middle, off the bench. So do you think they've got enough firepower? That is my question. To everyone in the chat, let us know. I look at us right now and I think we've got more firepower in Kane, Song, Kulusevski, potentially Perisic. I know a lot of people raise eyebrows with Richarlison. I think we're, from a forward perspective, I think we're a lot stronger. Not just saying that because I'm a Tottenham fan. I just feel like there's a lot more, this consistency level in Kane and Son that they're going to get, 15 goals a season.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, I completely agree with you. I think when it comes to forward power, I think Tottenham have definitely got the monopoly. I feel that where Chelsea are going to be stronger, assuming they sign, Koulibaly is all but done, right? Unless he fails his medical. You've got Thiago Silva, he's like the Highlander. He's just timeless. Keeps going. Thiago, Koulibaly and Kimpembe as a 3, or Ake on the left side of a 3.
Oh, yeah, they're going to sign Ake as well, aren't they?
And then you've got Trevor Chalobah, who, was young, came into the team doing his thing. You've got Malanga Sarr as another option, Reece James, Ben Chilwell. And then I think where they're better than us, don't want to make this about Tottenham, but the central midfield area as well. I feel like they've just got players that have been there, seen it, done it, and at the top clubs across the world. If you look at Jorginho, You look at
Yeah,
Kovacic.
like a proper maestro. Not only that, Chelsea I think they had the highest top scoring defenders last year.
Yeah.
Rudiger, Christensen, Reece James, and Thiago Silva. I think combined they had something like 20 goal contributions, which doesn't seem like a lot, but
it is from centre half.
To put this into perspective, how many goal scoring defenders do we have? I know people will say, Eric Dyer might have scored a 30-yarder against some plumbers tonight. But if you look around, even Manchester United, how many goal scoring defenders do they have? They don't have a Trent or Robertson.
Henry, look across the league. How many goal scoring defenders are there in the Premier League?
5, I'd say. Trent, Robertson, Cancelo, Reece James.
Because back in the day, centre halves used to score loads of goals coming up from corners, the likes of John Terry. Now I look at it, and I mean Van Dijk, for as great as he is, I someone might tell me if I'm wrong. That's the beauty of going live and having over 100 people in the show. I don't remember Van Dijk being a prolific. When I say prolific, I don't mean 20 goals a season, but 6-7 goals a season, right, from corners, that sort of thing. So I don't know if that's there. I mean, when you look at Chelsea, do you think that they can? We're going to go to we'll do our Premier League predictions later, which should get everyone firing. But do you look at them and think that they are going to be stronger than last year and they can close the gap to City and Liverpool? Or, like predicted by so many people, and I don't know why, are they going to have this massive collapse and drop out of the top 4 completely?
I don't think they'll drop out of the top 4. I think they've got too much quality. I just don't. I think defensively, if you look at last year, I personally would say, this is just my opinion, I'd say last year, I think they're a bit stronger defensively, purely because, we all know Koulibaly and Kimpembe are fantastic players.
Yeah.
But have they ever played in a defensive style the same as Tuchel? Maybe. But Rudiger and Christensen, I think people... For me, Rudiger was the second best defender in the year last year behind Van Dijk. I rated it that high. I'd even go above Ruben Diaz. And, if Real Madrid come calling, you've got to be, you've got to be an elite player, right? Then Barcelona going for Christensen. So I look at it and think, okay, they've got the leader in Kimpembe. They're going to, not Kimpembe, Koulibaly. They're going to bring in Kimpembe. I just don't necessarily, I don't think they're going to drop out of the top 4, but I can't see them rivaling Man City and Liverpool. Just because look at Man City's firepower. Okay, Haaland, this Alvarez kid has got something like 27 goals in 24 games in Argentina. People will say, Argentina, but you look at Darwin Núñez. He scored something ridiculous in Portugal. Forget the league, you still got to score goals. And Man City and Liverpool rarely get this wrong. And not only that, from a creative perspective, Man City have got playmakers galore: Grealish, Foden, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Mahrez,
Gundogan.
Chelsea, okay, you've got Jorginho, is a fantastic passer, but and Mason Mount, but
would it be fair to say? Would it be fair to say Chelsea are more of a? Chelsea are a functional team, right? Tuchel's tactics are functional. Everyone knows their job. They don't vary from it. Whereas Pep's teams are a little bit more, all right,
more fluid.
For the sake of formation, you start there, but you take Kyle Walker, for example. Never at right back, is he? He's always tucking in, etc. Just before we move on, I've got a super chat here from Tinman 007. Welcome, Tinman. It's always nice to see you. He has said Chelsea Football Club look like they're signing 3 top centre backs, and we've got one on loan that we're all pretending is going to turn his form around. Henry, is that a worry for you from a Tottenham? Again, this isn't a Tottenham show, but from a Tottenham perspective, if we take our Tottenham hats off, is that the worry that we still haven't addressed what we all know is a weak part of our team? I know people will say, well, look at the last 3 or 4 months, but we're going up against better quality next year. Is it a concern for you that Spurs, as of yet, have not gone out and gone, right, there's a Hincapi, an Undercar, a Bremer, an Ibanez, on and on and on.
Torres, Bastoni, yeah, the name's going on and on. The question I have, if you look at Chelsea, you look at us, the only centre back that would start for them, in my opinion, is Romero, right?
For sure.
And even at the moment, people might say Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, Kimpembe. Does he start? It's up for debate.
Yeah,
sure. But all of Chelsea's back line start for us. Right, every single one of them. Chilwell, James, Silva, Kimpembe, Koulibaly, they all start for us. So defensively, I mean, Lenglet, if he can find some of the form of the Sevilla days, you got a cracking player. But this is all if, buts, and maybes.
Of course, of course.
Look at Chelsea, right? In the last 7 days, right, this is facts. They've signed Sterling, and they're on the verge of signing Ake, Koulibaly, and Kimpembe. Yeah. We've spent 7 months chasing Jed Spence. In January, I remember the date. It was I think it was January the 18th. Tottenham were interested in Spence. This deal still hasn't happened from a kid from Middlesbrough. Chelsea are going to go and besides Marquinhos, he's their second best defender, Kimpembe, for PSG.
Yeah,
they've just signed Man City's top goal scorer in Raheem Sterling.
Yeah. So here's a question. Let me ask you this: if we were to take Chilwell and James out of Chelsea and put them into a Spurs team, how much does that transform the way we play?
If you give us I'm going to go out on a limb now. If you were to give us Reece James, Ben Chilwell, and an actual playmaker, say hypothetically, we got Maddison, Chilwell, and Reece James, I would put us stronger than Chelsea.
Okay.
I'd put us up not far off Liverpool because Reece James and Chilwell in a Conte system would be, you're talking arguably the best right back in the league, a very, very, very good left back. Would be then that would have us really, firing all cylinders. I'd say we're stronger than Chelsea.
Okay,
so maybe on a great perspective. Sorry.
I was just going to say, let's move on from Chelsea. I want to look at some of the other transfers that are going on at the moment. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do today because the first show, we're going to talk a little bit about where we see each team is going to finish. Now, obviously, this is never going to be 100% right because it's impossible to predict injuries. There's still loads of signings to be made, but we'll give it our best go. We'll also talk about who we believe is going to be our top scorer. We're going to talk about who we think is going to be our player of the year and who's going to be our young player of the year. Before we go on to that, Henry, I know you like this guy because you messaged me, I think it was yesterday, about this. So West Ham have put in a £40 million bid for Scamacca of Sassuolo. Now, I watch a lot of Italian football, so I really rate this guy. He's broken into the Italy team. He looks powerful. Looks like he's got a lot of attributes. Is this a game changer for West Ham? Is this what they desperately need?
Oh, I said this to one of my friends earlier. This will be, in my opinion, the best Premier League signing they've had in a decade.
Okay.
Since probably the best signing they're going to have to affect the team since even before Dimitri Payet. You're talking early days Carlos Tevez. This guy if they can bring him in, add a few more additions, more goals. I mean, you obviously know how much I rate Jared Bowen. I mean, I think he's an exceptional footballer. They've got Declan Rice. I just feel like they're going to be a different team this year, West Ham, because now they've had the season in Europe. They're going to be used to playing every 3 or 4 days. They're going to be playing the Conference League against, that they can afford to play Declan Rice and Jared Bowen once a week until the latter stages of the Conference League, whereas Kane and Son will be playing every 3 or 4 days.
I think that's a huge part, isn't it? I think
he's a game changer for them. I really do.
Yeah. What does, from what you've seen of him, what does he bring to them that they don't have at the moment? Because I kind of feel for Antonio, right? Again, I'm taking my Spurs hat off. So before everyone shouts at me, this is not me as a Spurs fan. I feel for Antonio because first and foremost, he was never a centre forward. I mean, when I first started watching him play, he was a right back. Then he kind of moved to that kind of that right wing position. And now, because West Ham haven't bought a striker for God knows how long, apart from they bought Hala, that didn't quite work out for whatever reason. I feel like a lot of pressure gets put on Antonio for a guy that isn't a natural goal scorer. Is Scamacca going to make a difference? How many goals would you expect as a good return? Obviously, this is all if buts and maybes, but if he does sign, how many goals are you expecting from Scamacca?
I would say 14.
Okay.
I think he'll get. The thing is, West Ham's recruitment for strikers in the last decade has been absolutely diabolical. You know, Freddie Picquion, Demba Ba at the time was awful. Ricardo Fazte.
Ricardo Fazte. Wow. You've plucked that one out, yeah?
Yeah, who else have they had? They've had Demba Ba. They've had Colin Cole before that. You know, Sebastian Haller, Luis, the Portuguese player from West Ham. They're from Arsenal, sorry. I feel like West Ham, when it comes to forwards, they never, ever get it right. They rarely... The last striker they signed that was actually good was Carlos Tevez. Before that, you know, Dean Ashton, Di Canio, right? They never, ever get it right when it comes to strikers, ever.
Yeah.
However, when you look at some of the other smart recruitment they do, you know, maybe a Soufal, Soucek, Ben Rama, Bowen, you know, bringing Declan Rice for the academy, Kurt Zouma, Ogbonna, you know, they get it right.
Yeah.
But
some very smart signings at West Ham over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to strikers, it's awful.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's
I mean,
awful.
When you look at some of the signings, I mean, they're signings that other clubs would have turned their noses up. The likes of Soucek, right? The likes of Soufal or Soufal. Even, I'm going to say it, I'm not saying for clubs in the top four, but even when you look at when they signed Dawson, people are like, they're signing Dawson from West Brom. And he's gone in there and he's been solid. Not glamorous, not a big name. I'm not saying a top four club should go for him, but David Moyes has really got it right. I feel like he's been really underrated for what he's actually done to a West Ham team that don't have any, let's be fair, they've got no depth, have they? They've got no depth.
It's just an 11. He took them from a relegation fight to the Europa League semi-final. So listen to some of the quick strikers they've had quickly. I'll just name a few off of here. Andy Carroll, Emmanuel Emenike, Enner Valencia, Mario Zarate, Benny McCarthy, Mido, John Carew, Sebastian Haller, Nika Jelavic, Robbie Keane, obviously he's a fantastic player, Simeon Zaza, Shamak, Ricardo Veste, Picquion, Carlton Cole, Javier Hernandez. That list is absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah,
it's not good. It's probably worse than ours.
Just quickly before we go on, we've got a super chat. Before we go to the super chat, guys, keep smashing the like button. If we get to 250 likes, we will give away I keep saying Spurs shirt. We will give away a Premier League shirt. If a fan of another club wins it, we will buy that shirt. Okay.
Well, how many likes are we on at the moment?
We are on, for 135 people in here, we're on 67 likes. So half the people have not smashed the like button. Smash the like button. Hashtag Savva/Henry for a chance to win a free shirt. It helps us for the likes. It gives you a free football shirt. It's a no-brainer. And just going to the super chat, Phil P. Hello, Phil. Always in the chats. He has said, Henry, I'm going to ask you this question. How high is the ceiling for this wonderful new show? Big up Sunbed Savva and Handsome Henry. If Sunbed Savva sticks, I've had a lot worse nicknames. Henry, I'll take it. I will take that. And Henry looks like he needs a sunbed.
I look, because my programmed to my face, not programmed to my face, but it's on the same complexion. I look like I haven't seen sunlight in about 10 years, and you like you've laid on a beach for about 4 months. How high is the ceiling?
For this show?
Very high. Depends. If you guys keep tuning in, keep subscribing to both the channels, keep smashing the likes up, then there's no reason we can't, when the Champions League starts in October, this is going to really, we can start doing Champions League watch-alongs. The background of our both of us sitting here is one of the most iconic footballing pitches ever, and it is Rui Costa and Materazzi. Just watch games like that. Obviously, Tottenham will be in the Champions League, but it'll be the other games. It'll be the Madrids, PSGs, Barca's, Cities, Liverpool's, Chelsea's, and then maybe even talk about the Europa League on the Thursday when we talk about that other tower of shit down the road.
Absolutely. Listen, to back on from that, look, this show will keep going every Wednesday. The reason we have picked Wednesday is it means that we would have had a full weekend of matches from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday Champions League games. We could discuss all of that, all of the talking points. And as much as we love our beloved Spurs, it is nice to talk about some other stuff. And also, some people that don't watch other leagues and don't know European clubs, Henry and I do watch a lot of that. So, if we can all teach each other. But listen, keep smashing that like button for your chance to win a shirt. Subscribe as well. Please subscribe to @Savva Talk Spurs and @Henry Wright TV. This is a joint venture. Smash the like button and keep getting questions in. Henry, going to move away from West Ham. Going to talk about that massive, massive club that don't look massive at the moment, Manchester United. Now, Man United at the moment, it feels like the Eriksen deal's taken about as long as it's taken us to get Spence over the line. Frankie de Jong feels like it's going on forever, and there seems to be a lot of complications with apparently Barcelona owe him something like 17 million I saw today in wages. And then on top of that, you've got Lisandro Martinez, who apparently is going to be a done deal in the next 2 days. So they've bought Malacia, if I'm saying that right. Yeah. Probably not. What's going on at Man United? Are these good signings for them? Do Martinez, De Jong and Eriksen, if they'll get over the line, does that transform United enough for that top 4 challenge? And Luan, I've seen you in the chat. You're a United fan. Tell us, what do you think? Go on, Henry.
I think United will be very strong next year. Ten Hag is, in my opinion, is a top coach. Probably top 10, top 12 coaches in the world when you look at it, what he's doing, club football. The only thing for me is he going to get enough time? Right. And I mean that in the sense that David Moyes lasted 11 months. Louis van Gaal lasted, a year and a bit. Mourinho lasted a year and a half as well. Let me know what you think, guys. I don't think he's going to... I think he's going to do well, but I don't think he's going to set the world alight instantly. It's going to take Manchester United close to a decade to get up there with Man City and Liverpool. Ten Hag's been known of wherever football club he goes to, that entire ethos of football is played from the under-8s all the way to the first team. And that was what he installed at Ajax. Excuse me. The likes of Ziyech, Tagliafico, Martinez, Donny van der Beek, Frankie de Jong, Huntelaar, they all bought into that ethos of football. Now, if they do lose Ronaldo, when people say, he's washed, I've never seen a 37-year-old footballer score that many goals in a terrible football team. If they lose Ronaldo, you've got Martial, you've got Rashford, and you've got Sancho. Do they have enough firepower? Absolutely not. So they've got to find someone else. You look at creativity, though. Eriksen, Donny van der Beek, Frankie de Jong, Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. You've then got Fred and McTominay behind and potentially Donny van der Beek where he plays. I just feel like they, with a couple more signings, get these 4 players in, bring in maybe a number 9. Someone like Lisandro Martinez would be perfect for them. Yeah. From Inter Milan. Or someone like who can play along the front line.
Can I just ask you?
Gabriel Jesus would have been perfect. Obviously, he's not going to join, but
whilst you're talking about the United front line, Ronaldo, right now, it's not the Ronaldo of years ago, but you wouldn't expect that because the guy's nearly as old as me, and mate, I can't even run to the bus stop. Do you know what I mean? I don't even know where the bus stop is, but I'm sure I couldn't run to it. Okay. He takes his top off and I just go, oh God, my missus would fall in love with you. Like, do you know what I mean? He's just ripped. He's supremely fit. Got 18 Premier League goals, I think, and 24 in all competitions. If they keep him fit, if they get Bruno Fernandes firing again, if they add Eriksen, De Jong, they get that De Jong Van der Beek partnership going out at Ajax.
Sancho and Martinez now as well in that as well, another Ajax player.
Yeah, Martinez at the back, Malacia at left back. If they get, you've got Martial that's gone back there. You've got Sancho. You've got. I feel like a lot of people are writing off Man United based off where they've been rather than where they're going. But if I'm going to ask you right now, Ronaldo, is he at Man U next year? And how many goals is the guy getting?
If he's at Man United next year, I'm going to say 15.
15 league goals?
15 league goals and probably 22 in all comps. The question, personally, I don't think he'll be there. He's not gone on tour. He didn't play the game in Turkey against Liverpool, right? And you got to remember, this is Ronaldo, right? The branding of Ronaldo, we think the branding of Heung-min Son in Korea is big. Ronaldo, give you some stats, right? Will Stewart stats. Ronaldo signed for Juventus for 100 million euros. In 48 hours, they did 100 million euros worldwide Juventus Ronaldo shirts. In 48 hours. Or it was either 48 hours or 72 hours. They did 100 million pounds. We're talking the best athlete of all time. Him and Michael Jordan. They're probably two of maybe the top five, you'd say. For me, it's Ronaldo. He keeps himself trimmed to the core. His diet is everything. Look at his son. His son's like 10 and he's fucking built like a brick. It's mental how fit this guy is.
Yeah.
You can look at the video of him at Juventus when he goes up for that header, and the Napoli centre-back's head is like on Ronaldo's hip. That's how high he's jumping. It's absolutely.
I think the thing is as well is for a guy that's won everything. I think the only thing in football Ronaldo's not won is the World Cup, right? For a guy that's won everything, and we're not talking about once, we're talking about multiple Ballon d'Ors, Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, La Ligas, top goal scorer, all of these things. His desire to keep going is just phenomenal. Because most people, I'll be honest, like I'm sitting here right now going, Henry, I want to retire in 5 years. I want to be a YouTuber, make some money and retire. This guy could have retired a decade ago, but he's still going strong. Where's that desire come from? Because you can't teach that, can you? You can't teach desire.
That's just the willingness to be winning willpower to be the best. He thinks he's the best. And when you're, it's like, he's like, for people who watch basketball, he's very similar to a basketball called LeBron James. He's the same age, 37, and still like at that level. Look at Djokovic. He's like nearly 35. These sort of people are once in a lifetime athletes. Nadal's 37. It's that mentality in them to just keep going, break more records, win more trophies, get more individual accolades, keep going, get more awards. He for me, him and Messi are in the top three players of all time. They are on a different level. The consistency, the last 15 years, the only two people have won the Ballon d'Or in the last 15 years besides Luka Modric is them two. Their mentality and their skill level, like Ronaldo knows he's very good, but he could have hung the boots up, like you said, 5 or 6 years ago and thought, you know what? Yeah. Look at Jack Wilshere. I'm not saying that he's a world-class player. He's just retired at 30.
Yeah. And do you know what? Spurs fans will hate me saying this, but when I watched Jack Wilshere at 16, 17, that boy was special. Whether we like to admit it or not, I remember watching him and the Arsenal fans, the Arsenal coaches and everyone, they were saying this is the next Liam Brady. Now I know that might be lost on a lot of people, but Liam Brady was to Arsenal what Glenn Hoddle is to Tottenham. if I can use those terms. Maybe Ellie, I see you in the chat. I'm not ignoring you. Ellie, Liam Brady, how good was he for Arsenal? I know we're Spurs, but how good was he? And I'll answer later on WhatsApp about Henry and how he's getting on in his job. I'll give you the truth. Yeah, I mean, mate, it's crazy, isn't it? It's, you know, when you've got people like Wilshere hanging their boots up that early, and then Ronaldo's desire. But if Man U were going to sell him, realistically, whose court is the ball in? Is it in Ronaldo's? Is it in Man United's? And are Man U going to be crazy enough to sell Ronaldo to a Chelsea, for example?
I think the power's in Ronaldo's court because he holds all the strings, in my opinion, because he can just pay out his contract. He can just walk away, rip his contract up. Man United are in a position now where a lot of their fans, and this is quite common with Manchester United. A lot of people don't seem to realise. I don't know why I'm holding a pen. From the very top to the very bottom is absolutely rotten to the core of that football club. So players like Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Ronaldo, all these ego type players don't fit in there.
Yeah.
But players like who buy into managers, Bruno Fernandes, and Michael Carrick, Harry Maguire, they all follow suit. Whereas Ronaldo will be like, "This isn't good enough. I want more."
Right.
So I personally think where it will come to a point where Ronaldo will say he's unhappy, like he did at Juventus, put the club in an awful spot. We know how much publicity Ronaldo gets. He's arguably the most famous person on the planet right now. He's only got 400 million Instagram followers, or 500 million. It's insane. Like 35% of the Instagram app follow Ronaldo. He's like a god in today's to like kids today. He'll get to the point where he'll upset the football club, he'll upset the fan base, and they'll just go. But then you think Man United have now lost Pogba, Lingard, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
That's a lot of talent to just
Matic.
Yeah, Matic.
Yeah, it's a big change there.
Even Dean Henderson's gone as well. Dean Henderson.
Yeah, he's gone on loan to Forest, right? But before we move on, guys and girls, keep hitting that like button. As we said, hashtag Savva/Henry for a chance to win a shirt. We are currently on 94 likes. And if you do want to get any super chats, any super stickers to make sure your comment gets read out, 50% does go to the British Heart Foundation. So please do that. Also, it does help. Subscribe to @Henry Wright TV and @Savva Talk Spurs. It really does help, and it does help us put these shows on for you. Just quickly, there are certain people in the chat. There's been some questions. I'm not ignoring them. I am starring them, which in YouTube world means I'm putting them for later for me and Henry to answer. Otherwise, we'll be all over the shop with discussion points. Just quickly, everyone go and follow my man Football Ferreira. Love this guy. We've been speaking recently. He's on Instagram. He's doing his thing. He knows his stuff. Go out there, give him a follow on YouTube and on Insta. Henry, let's talk about Everton. If you're an Everton fan, how are you feeling right now? You've sold your best player to Tottenham. You've just had a £25 million bid rejected for Morgan Gibbs-White of Wolves, who I believe was on loan at, I want to say, Sheffield United last year.
He come out the Tottenham Academy.
Not Morgan Gibbs-White?
Yeah, he came out of Tottenham. He came out of Tottenham Academy about 2-3 years ago.
Wow. Well, all I know is if I was an Everton fan, they've got him for Morgan Gibbs-White. 25 million was rejected. They've signed Tarkowski on a free. They got Dele Alli in January.
They've lost Donny van der Beek as well.
Yeah. Lost Donny van der Beek. Lost Richarlison. Lots of speculation about Anthony Gordon. First of all, let's start with Tarkowski. Solid signing for Everton.
I would have taken him at Spurs.
Yeah,
I think a lot of teams would have taken him. He's just a reliable pro.
Right.
He'll get stuck in. He'll do the job. He's probably better than a lot of the centre backs they've got now. They've got a championship back four. Who they got? They've got Holgate.
Yeah.
They got I can't remember the guy's name.
That's how bad it is. Will King.
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? They've also got, I like Seamus Coleman, and they've got Digne. They've lost Digne to Villa now as well, last year.
Isn't Seamus Coleman about 50? I feel like he's been playing forever.
I'll be honest with you, I think Everton will go down. I genuinely feel Everton will go down.
Don't give it away. We're going to do our predictions a bit later, so don't you give it away. But
no, I'm not. I'm just going to look at. I think they've got a terrible manager. I don't rate Lampard at all. But yeah, he might have kept them up, but most people would say Richarlison kept them up. They had a lot of stuff go their way. Are they going to replace Richarlison's goals? Dominic Calvert-Lewin has a big injury. You know, they hit him like the plague. I just think I don't know. Can they? I would, if I was an Everton fan right now, a famous Danny Dyer line, I would be fucking shitting myself.
Yeah.
If I was an Everton fan.
I mean, it doesn't bode well. I mean, look, the difficulty I think that they've got, and look, you might disagree, is you've got a club that's not been doing well, hasn't got a great squad. You've got a manager that can he attract big names purely because of his playing days? I don't think so. And they're going after, look, again, Morgan Gibbs-White, decent player, but they're going after frees, players like Morgan Gibbs-White.
They're going after Harry Winks.
Harry Winks, like players like Dele Alli, who's been awful for years. I mean, I can't, I mean, and for me, you might disagree with me here, Henry, and that's okay. I don't actually rate Dominic Calvert-Lewin that much. I don't think he's this dynamic striker that everyone thinks he is. What are they doing next season? How are they going to get themselves out of this kind of relegation battle that they found themselves in last season?
I feel on the Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think he's very good in the air, but his hold-up play. Smash a like, Bobby, as well while you're there, mate. Smash a like.
Thanks, Bobby. Love you.
Spurs is an evil, nasty club. He's definitely a gooner. I feel like Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the air is one of the best headers in the league. His heading ability is a joke, but I don't feel like he's enough. And I feel Everton, if Everton want to win, they want to win a lot more games. They're going to need a lot more than Richarlison.
Yeah.
Where's their goals coming from? They've got a kid in Anthony Gordon, who's now my star boy. I'm hearing Blues say, and I'm going to call him Blues. Okay, he's a kid. So who else have they got up front?
I think towards the end of last season, I saw a game where I want to say Rondon came on and Cenk Tosun. I mean, I might be making that up. I'm pretty sure I saw it. I mean, look, they're in trouble, right? They're in big trouble.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I feel there's 3 or 4 teams that are in big trouble next year, and they are top of the list.
Yeah,
you know, is Iwobi, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Rondon? Are they going to keep you up? And defensively, they're shambles.
Yeah,
they're absolute shambles. I feel sorry for Pickford because he's just getting, pulverized every week consistently, like 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah. Just before we move on, just quickly, Johnny Be Good. Johnny, welcome. Always in the show. Thank you very much for the super chat. I don't know what knock is, but thank you very much. He said, hi, guys. Great show. Henry, he's put Morgan Gibbs-White is a Wolves product since he was 8, not Tottenham. Just saying. Henry.
I might be thinking of Oakley Booth.
Yeah, Spurs have had a million players, it feels like, that have come through with double-barreled surnames. But Johnny, great to see you in the chat. Everybody, please keep smashing that like button. We are on 101 likes. We're 149 from a free Premier League shirt of your choice.
Johnny Be Good's right. I was thinking of Oakley Booth.
Of course he's right. Keep smashing the like button. Keep subscribing. I've only had 2 subscribers since I started the show. subscribe to me, subscribe to Henry. We're good guys. We do this every night for your pleasure, and it's free for you. Henry, let's move on from Everton. Another team that could be in trouble, but I don't think as much, if we look at some transfer activity, is Leeds. So Leeds today have lost Rafinha to Barcelona, and they lost last week Calvin Phillips to Man City. Now, some might say, fair play, they've lost them to two really, really top teams in world football, but that doesn't help the Leeds fans, does it? Can you see them bringing in adequate replacements? How difficult are those two going to be to replace? And are they going to be in for another relegation battle next season?
I like Jesse March as a manager. I think he's quite a good coach. He did well in Germany at the Leipzig group. They've signed a few players, a few American players. One left back, or one right back from Salzburg, who is a top player. But yeah, thing is, Leeds will go out and spend money. Yeah. They've got £100 million now sitting there.
Yeah.
From Calvin Phillips and Rafinha. They will go out and buy firepower, and their recruitment is not bad at all. Stuart Dallas has got, I think Stuart Dallas has got quite a big injury. Firpo's missed the first 4 weeks of the season through injury as well. I don't think Leeds will go down next year. I think they'll stay up. I think they've, Ellen Road is a tough place to go. I know we would put 4 past them, but that was under their, I can't remember the guys who was there before.
Bielsa.
I feel like they'll go out and spend money. I'd be more worried if I was an Everton fan than a Leeds fan, purely because their recruitment's that top notch. Everton has spent 540 million in the last 7 years, and out of those players, who have they got still here? James Rodriguez is gone. They spent 40 million on Iwobi.
Yeah,
they spent 10 million on Dele Alli. It's. So I'd be worried.
Okay, so the type of player I see that they're in for, they are looking at, and I'm going to butcher this guy's name. To be fair, I can't even remember it. The left winger, from, is it Feyenoord? Is it Sisterton or?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, apologies. So many names going around in my head. I also saw today that they're looking at this guy from Bruges. Is it Leclerc? Again, apologies if I'm butchering his name. I know Milan have been after him. Jesse March also seems to be dipping into the kind of the American market for players. As Leeds fan, reason to be optimistic. I saw him on Sky Sports today talking about they've gone, but now that allows us to do things for our new era. Is that more hope than expectation, or do you think that Marsh has definitely got a plan of what he expects from Leeds moving forward?
Well, the thing is about Jesse March is he's worked in clubs that go through transitional periods a lot. He's part of the Red Bull group, so he's managed New York Red Bull. I think he managed New York Red Bulls in America. Then he's managed in Austria for Salzburg, and he's managed part of he was to do with something with Leipzig. So he's used to being a manager in a transitional period.
Yeah.
But a lot of people come out and say they don't rate him. I actually like him as a coach. It's just, I think they will go out and spend the money. It's just the American market. I know, Will Stewart, big up to Will as well. I know he comes out and rates a lot of them. The Americans have got some serious talent. Like Jose Reyna for Dortmund is, we're talking about a wonder kid. Like, we're talking about with Phil Foden level. Like, he's going to be a serious prospect. Then they've also got the likes of McKennie. They've got Pulisic. I think something like 40% of their 25-man squad play for Champions League clubs. So, and you look, say, 15 years ago, they've gone from like London Donovan and Dempsey, and the rest were absolute dross. Now, if they put more time. Look at the athletes they've got over at in basketball and American football. They're like 6'8" quarterbacks. If they can start breeding them into our football, they'd have some top quality. But I think with Jesse March, I think he'll keep them up. I think he'll buy the right players. He's an experienced coach. He's a good coach. Yeah. It's just, are they going to buy enough firepower? That's the question.
Okay, we've got 2 more clubs to go through. Before we do, we have got a super chat. Before I go to the super chat, thank you very much for all the likes so far. Keep hitting the like button. Just had 5 new subscribers. Whoever you are, thank you. It is much appreciated. Make sure that if you're subscribing to me, you're subscribing to Henry. Make sure if you're subscribing to Henry.
Of 6,660.
Oh, get it in. Someone go and subscribe. I am going to set a target. I am on 1304 at the moment. I would like to end the evening on 1325. That's 21 subscribers. There's 148 people in here. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe. It really does help. And just before we move on, smash the like and subscribe to Henry Wright TV as well. We will be doing this every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. And Johnny B. Good has said, correct, Henry, Tashan Oakley Booth is a Tottenham product. He has said that Knock is Norwegian, Sav. Thank you. I've learned something tonight. By the way, Isaac to Newcastle, possibly. Soft spot for him. I've seen that a few times today, Isaac to Newcastle. He's a player, Henry. I wasn't going to talk about this, but we will. He's a player that has attracted a lot of interest across Europe. 21, I believe, up front for Sociedad. Have you seen him? Do you like him? Is that a good signing if made by Newcastle?
Yeah, I think it's a good signing. Sweden have actually got some good players. They've got Forsberg, Kulusevski, Isak, or Isaac, however you pronounce it. It is. I don't necessarily think it's going to. Obviously, like the king. I don't necessarily think, even before that, when they had like Larson, I don't necessarily think he's going to go out and get them 30 goals a season. But they've already got the likes of Wood, they've already got the likes of Wilson, and it's about building a squad. We should know that, being Tottenham fans. That's all we try to drill out to people. Big up as well, Gogomar as well. Welcome back. I feel like with Isak, it's going to take a lot of bedding in time for him. New city, new country, new club, and Newcastle were there on your backs straight away. They've got such a passionate fan base, but I'd love to see him in the Premier League. As long as he doesn't go to Arsenal, I'd be happy.
Yeah. I think it's one of those, isn't it, that if he comes over, you almost get the feeling if he goes to a Newcastle that he'll get snapped up by a bigger club afterwards. But we just don't know where Newcastle are going to be in 2 years because the money they've got is ridiculous. So, but look, let's move on from Newcastle. Thank you very much for that question, Johnny B. Good. Wolverhampton Wanderers last year were excellent until about February.
Yeah, it was a big spiral down from there.
Didn't concede goals. They had a back three of, Cody, Seiss, and the young guy. I can't think of his name. Kilman. They didn't let in goals, but unfortunately for Wolves, they weren't great the other end at scoring goals. Having said that, they've now gone out and bought Nathan Collins from Burnley for 20 million. Again, for me, looks like a perfect signing for Wolves. Strong centre-back, loves defending. Anyone who's been at Burnley loves to defend, right? Good signing for them?
I think he'll be a great signing for them. Yeah. Wolves, when Connor Cody's at the back for them, like you said, they look very, very, very sound. Very sound. They don't score a lot, but they don't concede a lot. So, it's kind of like with all those great defenders, you think they'd be very good at set pieces, but unfortunately they're not. I feel like for Wolves, it's the same again for so many teams. More firepower. Raul Jimenez, before he had that terrible injury, and the likes of Jota, Adama Traore at times, Podence, and they've got another player as well, Neto. There's a lot of talent there, but it's not even the youngster. They've got is it Silva, the 18-year-old?
I feel like he's been there for a while.
João Martinho, Ruben Neves,
Yeah.
Dendonka.
João
There's quality there.
Martinho is another. He just goes on and on and on.
He's got that 35 now.
Yeah, and he's just signed a new contract. We nearly got him in the AVB days. So if that tells you how long he's been going, we nearly got him. He was AVB's guy to replace Modric, if I'm right.
Huh? I swear, didn't he go to Porto to replace Deco?
Yeah, but so when AVB was at Tottenham and we lost Modric, Martinho was the guy he wanted.
Oh, right.
And I think he would have been a brilliant player. But look, I mean, Wolves. I'm not going to ask you where they're going to be next year because we're going to get your top 20, the only 20, your predictions in a bit. The last club I want to look at in terms of signings, Southampton. Southampton are the don't lose for 8, and everyone thinks Hasenhüttl was a world-class manager. Lose 8 in a row. Hasenhüttl was crap.
And they always lose one game a year, 9-0.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've just signed Joe Aribo from Rangers, who, whenever I watch Rangers, I don't think he's a bad player. He's quite versatile, but are those type of signings going to take Southampton higher than what they are?
I don't think Southampton will have that bad of a season. I think they'll be low end, mid-table. I think Bob as well.
Bob, stop being racist. I'm Greek. It's a Greek term.
I think, Savva can speak 4 languages as well, just letting you all know. 4 languages
Savva can speak.
I feel like Southampton will be, if they keep Brozier, James Ward-Prowse, Redmond, they've got a youngster as well. I can't remember what his name is. They've got someone else as well. Livramento. They've got good players. It's just, again, there seems to be such a shortage of strikers anywhere.
There really is across the whole of Europe.
Yeah, there's probably about, you just say 10 years ago, you had Rooney, Van Persie, you still had Benzema, you still had Lewandowski early days, you had Aubameyang early days, you had all these breakouts, Falcao, Diego Forlan, all of these top quality strikers. And now it's kind of like Lewandowski, Haaland, Benzema, then everyone else. There's such a big gap between top quality and good players. I feel like with Southampton, are they going to have the firepower?
Yeah.
You're going to get 10 goals a season from James Ward-Prowse. I think he's for me, he's the best dead ball specialist in the world. When you look at from a corner free kick, he is on a different level.
Yeah. But would you say that what will keep Southampton up again is the fact that there are a lot weaker teams than Southampton? Yeah. Because they always do manage to put a little run together, don't they, Southampton, which takes them far away from trouble. And then as the season goes on, they slowly, but they never quite get dragged into it. Is that going to be the case again this year?
Yeah, I think they'll probably finish 15th, just like around that area. But they won't go down purely because they'll be better than Everton or whoever goes down. It's kind of in that, they're not terrible, but at the same time, they're not exciting to watch.
Yeah,
all them teams, Leeds, Everton, Southampton, it's just not exciting to watch, is it? You put it on, you're like, okay, here we go, another game.
And it's not. And look, other than that, there's not many transfers going on at the moment in terms of deals that are getting close. If anyone wants to talk about any, put them in the chat. But Henry, what we're going to do in a second is we're going to go through our 20 to 1. 20 to 1, not the time. This is going to be 20th in the Premiership up to first. And these are only our predictions, so please don't shout at us.
From bottom all the way up or top all the way down?
bottom all the way up, my friend. Before we do, thank you. There are over 140 of you in the chat. Thank you so much for all your messages. If I could please ask all at once, if everyone that hasn't pressed the like button could go and press the like all at once and then subscribe to myself and Henry in the next 60 seconds. It is much appreciated. We put a lot of effort in, and if it sounds like I'm begging, I am. It's such hard work. Henry, and there are some, just quickly, we've got a super sticker from Gogomar. Thank you in all the streams. In all the streams. I feel like you live on streams, but you are welcome, and thank you very much. I know Henry is very grateful as well. Henry, let's do this. Let's do this.
So, bottom of the league.
Who have you got in 20th?
With
and quickly tell us in the chat. Tell us in the chat who's finishing bottom of the league. Go on, Henry.
I've done Bournemouth.
Me too. I've gone Bournemouth.
I think they're going to struggle big time.
Why are they going to struggle? Let me try and throw a. I'm not saying I believe this because I've got the bottom. Let me try and throw some hope. Is there not a chance, Henry, that they come up and that this is Dominic Solanke's year and he gets 15 to 20 goals? Bournemouth have a great run and they do what like a Brentford did. Is there no chance of that?
Not for me. Not for me. I feel like it will be Bournemouth bottom purely on the fact that they had a few years in the Premier League, don't get me wrong, but I think they're going to struggle. Like Football Ferreira says, they're going to struggle big time. A lot of inexperienced players. Then again, you know, Sheffield United had a year they come up nearly got in the Europa League. Wolves had that year when they come up nearly got in the Europa League. Look at Brentford last year. I just feel like it will be. I'm not really a massive fan of Scott Parker. I feel like he's a good coach.
For what reason?
A lot of people give him credit. I just don't think he has tactics. I think it's just heart and passion as a coach. We all know he used to love a tackle, right? But
good player.
I just feel like, yeah, he played for Tottenham, West Ham. Was he at Chelsea?
Chelsea, Newcastle. Here's a little bit of here's a little fun fact for you, Henry. I don't know. Again, I'm a bit older. Some people in the chat might remember this. There used to be a McDonald's advert of a blonde kid in his back garden doing keepy uppies, going da-da-da-dun-da-dun-da-dun-da-dun. It was for McDonald's. Does anyone remember that? That was Scotty Parker. And where I'm sitting right now, Henry, Scotty Parker grew up 3 roads away. So,
Jesus.
And you just put him bottom of the table. As have I.
19th.
Not 19th.
I've gone with Fulham.
I haven't. I've gone with Forest at 19th. You tell me why Fulham? Is Mitrovic? Is this not his year? Where's Coover and Bob when we need them?
Where's Iggy, the 41 goal striker? He's a machine. But
so let me put this argument to you, Henry. He's been up and down, right? He's been up and down more times than Katie Price. Okay. Is there a chance now that, I mean, I know we say the difference between the Premier League and the Championship is huge, and I'm just putting it out there, right? I'm just sitting on the fence. Is there not a chance that he can smash it this year? Because scoring 30 goals in the Championship, you go, yeah, this guy's just got 43 or something like.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Can he not get 15, 16 goals for Fulham? Are they going to create that many chances for him?
Not for me. I feel like the jump between Championship and Premier League. Look at Pukki, right?
Yeah.
He gets 30 a season and then, gets 8 in the Prem. I don't. Fulham have got some good players. I'm sure they have. They blitzed the Championship last year. Mitrovic got 46% of their goal contributions. But for me, I just feel like it's not enough. Premier League, playing against the likes of Blackpool, you go from Blackpool and Middlesbrough to Chelsea and City.
Yeah,
I feel like they're going to struggle. I've got a few surprises in here as well. I feel like you're going to be.
But before I tell you why I think Forest, can I just ask? Did you don't say if not, but did you have Forest in 18th?
No.
Okay, right. So let me tell you why I think Forest. I think that Forest play some lovely, pretty football. I don't feel that Forest have got a goal scorer. I feel that they've got some really nice, neat and tidy players, but they look to me like the typical team that will come up. I think they will try and play the pretty football still, which is great. Fair play to them. But I think if you try and play that pretty football with a defence that isn't good enough and an attack that doesn't score goals, I feel like they'll be taken to the cleaners. Now, I'm going to caveat myself, Henry. I love a caveat. Could Forest be that team that come up like a Brentford? I'm going to keep saying like a Brentford. And all of a sudden we go, oh, hang on. Forest have won 6 of their first 12 games and they're nowhere near relegation. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not going to say what I think just yet, but when I place them, people are going to be like, he's fucking smoking crack or something. I just feel like
they're going to think Henry's lost it.
Yeah, they are. So 18th, I've gone Everton.
Oh, Frank Lampard. You're relegating Frank. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Not enough firepower. Terrible coach, in my opinion. This is still early doors. They could go and sign 3 or 4 good players. But I've gone Everton, 18th.
I put Fulham in 18th. I mean, we've already just talked about Fulham. I'm going to mirror what I said about Forest with Fulham. Apart from the fact that they do have a goal scorer, I just look at Fulham's team and I think there's a lot to do there because this team just went down, came back up. I don't think they've got enough. I just don't. So I've got, unfortunately for me, Henry, I've got the 3 that came up going down. I'm not saying I want to see that. I always like it when a team stays up because it means that the leagues shuffle, right? Like Brentford staying up was brilliant for the Premier League. I just feel like the gap is huge. Let's go to who have you got in 17th place? Just missing out. I'm going to go just for drama on the last day of the season. Who's not getting relegated?
Southampton. A James Ward-Prowse free kick saves them on the last day of the season.
Mate, bingo. I've got Southampton in 17th. Why? Why is Southampton in 17th?
They've been to leave them. I don't see them scoring a bundles of goals. However, I do see them outperforming Everton and Fulham and Bournemouth just because there's more quality there.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I think for some reason I've just got Theo Walcott to have a great season for them. I have no idea why, but I just feel like he'll have a good season. That's why I went 17th Southampton. Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like the same team year in, year out. I see that they finally got rid of Shane Long. He's gone back to Reading today. I saw that. But, I mean, I just look at Armstrong, I look at Adams, and I feel like they're very good championship strikers.
They're not, they're not top tier, are they?
No, and I feel like you could get away with, if you're playing that 4-4-2, which Southampton do, I feel you could play Adams or Armstrong with a senior, experienced Premier League player. I feel as a 2, it just doesn't work. So we're on the same page there, mate. It looks like Southampton just narrowly escaping. Guys and girls in the chat, thank you for your likes. Please keep hitting the likes. Keep subscribing. I'm 15 away from my target for tonight. Henry, how many are you away from your target of subscribers?
I'm still one away.
Still want to,
Still
guys and
away.
girls. Guys and girls, hit the like, hit the subscribe. There's so many of you in here. It is free. You just do that on your mouse or your keypad. Henry, 16th. Who you got?
Leeds. I feel
Everton.
like Leeds will be. Nah, they're down. They're definitely down. I'd love to see them go down there because I cannot stand Frank. I've gone Leeds. Jesse March is a good coach, but his first full season in England is going to. I think he'll do okay, but I think he might struggle. That's why I've gone for 16th.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've put Everton there. I think that the difference between Everton and the three that have come up, I think they will still score some goals. I think Dele Alli will get you 6 or 7 a season. I can't believe I just said that. I think Gordon will get you 6 or 7. I think Calvert-Lewin will get you 10 to 13. I just feel that they'll just have enough to stay up. But I do predict a massive relegation fight for Everton. And I think, was it you who said to me that it will be gone within 10?
What, of next season? Yeah, I think I said it'd be gone before Christmas. I can't actually hear you. For some reason, I can't hear you anymore. Hold on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It's the problem when I keep brushing the mute button on me Yeti mic. And just so you know, Football Ferreira has just come in and subscribed to you. You should be where you want to be on your subscribers.
Yeah, I am. Big up to everyone. I hit it.
Okay, so let's move up the table. We're getting to some nice places. We're getting to maybe comfortable-ish, depending on who you are. 15th, Henry. Who's finishing 15th?
I've gone for Brentford.
I've gone for Leeds. Why?
I haven't put in Forest yet.
I've noticed. I've noticed you've not put in Forest. Just before I ask you that question, Gogama, thank you again for another super chat. She said, congratulations on the new show. Can't wait to see more. Must go now. Take care, Savva Henry. Look, thank you very much. I really, really do appreciate that. Just so you know, this show will only get better and better once we get into the season and we've got results to talk about and we've got Champions League. It's just good that we all know what's going on all across Europe and in other leagues and in the Premier League. Talk to me. You said you've got Brentford dropping down from, I think, 12th last year. You think they're going to do
13th,
worse this year?
13th.
13th. They're going to do worse.
I think they're going to. I think they're going to struggle a bit more purely because second season it happens to a lot of teams that that come up. Feel like they're going to struggle. Yeah, I'll be amazed if they finish above the likes of 15th, just because it's just that there's a cockiness when you start and you've done it for the first year. It's like an arrogance, and I think it will catch them up.
Do you think? See, I look at the Brentford manager and was it Thomas Frank?
Thomas Frank.
I don't see that he'll allow that. I feel like he's got a really good group of pros. I'm not saying they're the best players. I feel like he's got a really good group of pros. He seems like he's got his head screwed on. They've made a couple of decent signings as well, right? I say that and it's gone right out of my head, but I'm pretty sure Bournemouth has signed Hickey from Bologna. Is that one they just signed? The Scottish right back?
Yeah, the Scottish lad, yeah.
I saw they signed someone else. It's gone right in my mind. Somebody in the chat will tell us. But you see them down in 15th, but are we talking a comfortable 15th or narrowly escaping 15th. Relegation?
Nah, comfortable 15th.
Comfortable. Okay. So we're now out of. I've gone for Leeds. I think Leeds again will be down there because for too many years now, whenever people talk about Leeds, Henry, this is the sentence I hear. It all depends on keeping Bamford fit, right? Now, A, how many injuries can one man have? B, is he that good anyway? And C, after all these injuries, it's surely going to start to take an effect on his ability to play week in, week out. So
I
see
think it's going
Leeds
to take
down
a
there.
goal.
But
14.
that's the one where I looked at and I thought, I don't know, is Jesse Marsch, is he going to do something? Is he going to stun us? But I've got them down there. 14th.
I've gone for Forest.
Okay. Talk to me.
I think
Why have you gone for Nottingham Forest?
I think Nottingham Forest. I mean, now if anyone knows anything about Nottingham Forest, you go back to like when European Cups with Brian Clough. They have no fear. They're coming up back to the Premier League for the first time in 40 years, the top division, something like that. They've got no fear, and I think they're going to be exciting. New club back in the league for God knows how long. I think it's going to be very much like Brentford.
Okay. So talk to me then. Nottingham Forest. Lots of people raving about Brennan Johnson. Looks exciting. Looks a real exciting young talent. I think lots is expected of him coming up into the Premier League. What sort of a season do you see for him on a personal level?
I think he'll deliver. Yeah. I feel, when like you have a little soft spot for certain teams, right? I feel like I've got that with Nottingham Forest. Like I feel like they're just going to really, they've got a lot of talent, an awful lot of talent. Bearing in mind, after 7 or 8 games, their manager took over and they were in the bottom 3 of the Championship. To get all the way up to automatic promotion from the playoffs is a fantastic achievement. Sure. I feel like they've got another player as well, another midfielder.
I know exactly who you mean.
I can't remember his name.
Someone in the chat. I want to say Yeats. Someone in the chat tell us Nottingham Forest central midfielders. But let me ask you then, Henry, about Nottingham Forest. Like you're saying, soft spot. I think they're a team that people want to see do well. It's that historic, that kind of history that goes with them, and the whole kind of Brian Clough thing. I remember them in the Premier League years and years ago with the likes of Stan Collymore, players like Pierre Van Hooijdonk, if anyone remembers him, Brian Roy, Steve Stone, Scott Gemmell, Ian Wone, Des Walker, Stuart Pearce.
Who's the guy that scored the first goal in the Premier League? Was it for Forest or was it Sheffield United?
That was for Sheffield United. It was Brian Dean against Man United. It's all up there, Henry. That's how old I am. It's all up there, swirling around.
I don't know. Are they going to be that good without Jed Spence?
Well, I'm not even getting into a Jed Spence conversation. I'm bored of that on the Spurs shows. Just so you know, 14th, I've put Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think they'll be very well organised. I think they're going to be really hard to beat. I don't see them scoring goals. I think in the window I've seen them sign Collins. I think they made Hwang permanent.
The Korean guy.
I just, like you alluded to earlier, mate, I just think Jimenez is, unfortunately, that injury looks like it's finished him in terms of an elite goal scorer. Because I thought before that, he was excellent.
He was top class forward up before that.
So nothing against Wolves. I think they'll still be a decent team. I think they'll be hard to beat. But I just don't see them scoring goals across the season.
I've got them 14 as well. I don't think they've got enough firepower. Defensively, though, they're very, very, very good. So I really like their goalkeeper, Sarr. I'd have him at Tottenham any day of the week. Now, I think he's a top keeper.
Absolutely. And I also really like their left wing back, Ait Nouri. I think he's a good player as well. I like wing backs comfortable on the ball.
Who's the other wing back? The Spanish guy, the right wing back.
Johnny.
No, is it Trinaso? How do you pronounce it?
Oh, you're thinking of Trincao?
Is that the guy
who was on loan from Barcelona?
Yeah, he last year was a top player.
He's just signed, if I'm not wrong, yesterday or today for, I want to say, Sporting Lisbon. For 10 million. It's mad. But listen, a good club, a hard-working club. I tell you what, I would love Spurs to take Ruben Neves out of Wolves.
Oh, that'd be a game changer for us.
I
That'd
agree.
Be a proper game changer.
Neves and Basuma, for me, that's the one.
That'd be the dream.
Let's start now looking up the table. We're just up below the top 10. 12th. Who have you got finishing in 12th?
We're on 12th or 13th?
Do you know what? Tell a lot. I'm so sorry. 13th. Who you got?
I've got Brighton.
Okay. All right. Not too far away from where I've got them.
I like Graham Potter as a coach, but they lost Basuma. They can lose Cucurella. Molpay and Welbeck. I don't know. I think he'll get him. I think he'll do well, Potter, but I think 13th about their level. You know,
is it with them, Henry, that again when we look at Brighton,
there's no goal scorer.
They play lovely football. They're organised. They all know what they're doing. But in this league, if you do not have a bloke that can grab it, look, you need one of two things. You either need to be a Spurs and have Kane and Son, or you need to be a Liverpool, a Man City, a Chelsea, and just have goals spread around everywhere. And unfortunately, Brighton don't have either, do they?
No, they don't, and that's why I put them at 13th.
Yeah, 13th. I've got Palace, and again, for me, I want to see how they're going to cope without Gallagher. I think I mean, imagine Gallagher was your player and you lose him.
They're looking at bringing him back, aren't they?
Well, if they do, I will revise my positioning. They've just brought in Decore from France, a powerful player. I think Palace again. I think he's done a wonderful job there, Vieira. I think they are where they are, right? I don't think anyone looks at Palace and thinks, oh, they should be challenging for Europe. They're a decent club, but again, Benteke, Matete, Edouard,
Elise.
Ayew. There's not a lot. There's not a goal scorer there. They've got
Zaha, they've got Eze, they've got Elise, they've got who's the young centre back? Guahi.
Oh, Guahi. Yeah.
They've got a lot of talent there.
Yep. But I feel like they need a 25 goal a season man. And I just don't feel like they've got it.
They need a Mitrovic.
They need a bit. Do you know what? As we said the other day on the show, Henry, I'd actually quite like to see Mitrovic playing for a team that isn't in a relegation battle. I'd like to see what he would do with a Palace, with a Newcastle, with a Villa. We're not going to see it, of course, but I just think it would be interesting. I think Football Ferreira said, is it Ryan Yates? Yeah, for Forest, going back. Just quickly, Johnny B. Good has said about Forest, they've made some decent signings. They've bought Nakate, Omar Richards from Bayern, Nico Williams from Liverpool. Yeah. Again, absolutely. My question with Forest again, who's going to score the goals? That's the question for me. Let's go to 12th.
I have gone with Palace.
Okay. I've gone with Brentford. Go on, Palace, why?
It's kind of the same. It's their sort of level. Actually, no, I'm going to change. 12th, I'm going to go Leicester.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't rate Brendan Rodgers at all. Vardy's legs are knackered.
Hang on. Henry Wright, ladies and gentlemen, just going off piece, changing the script, whatever he wants to do.
Okay, they finished 8th last year, so it'll be a big drop for them. But I just don't know. So I've got a bad feeling about Leicester this year. I know they've got Harvey Barnes, I know they've got Vardy, I know they've got Maddison. They've got top quality players, but I've just got a bad feeling about them.
Okay. Before you tell me more about the bad feeling, thank you very much so far, everybody. The likes, we are on 131 likes. Please keep liking, keep subscribing. I am 15 away from my target on the night of subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please go and do it. Please subscribe to Henry Wright TV. And if anyone does want to make any super chat or super sticker donations, 50% does go to charity for British Heart Foundation. Henry, so Leicester in 12th. That's a drop off, mate.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Rodgers. I'll be honest. I'm not really a fan of him. I think I just got a feeling they're going to struggle. I don't know why. I've just got a gut feeling they're going to struggle. Tielemans could be leaving as well.
So let me ask you this. If they start having this season, which will be a bad season to see them drop down that far, at what point in the season does Rodgers get the tic tac?
He should have got the tic tac last year.
Oh.
He knocked out the Europa League by Slavia Prague, and then he got knocked out the Conference League. And that was by Mourinho, but still, this is a team that's won a Premier League and FA Cup in the last decade. Yeah. You should be performing better.
Okay, let me try and sit on the fence.
Go on.
Let me try and sit on the fence here. Leicester, according to the record books, had more injuries to key players than any other club last season. And at one point, they had 9 of their first 11 players injured. That's a lot. That's a lot of players, mate. That's got to be taken into account, no?
But at the same time, you either adapt or you perish. When Harry Kane's out, we have to put Son there. When Son's out, we have to put Brian Hill or whoever we've got. Or when Chelsea get big injuries, look at Liverpool. Jordan Henderson played centre-back for 10 games when Van Dijk was out.
Yeah.
They adapted and they still got top 4. So I feel like at one point they had Williams and Henderson at the back in a Merseyside derby.
Yeah. So, listen, I hear you. I'm just trying to throw some curveballs there. I've got Brentford in 12th. I think that they'll do exactly the same as last year. I think they'll have some great spells. I think they'll have some really bad spells, but I just feel that with Mbomo, with Tony, the likes of Norgard, players like that, I feel like they're just established. I feel like they've just got a system that works. They don't often get their recruitment wrong as well. So I feel like they'll be okay. But I take on board your point. It's the second season syndrome. So we'll revisit them after the first 10 games and see if they're in a relegation battle or sitting comfortably mid-table. Right, let's move one off the top 10. So completing, who's going to win the bottom half of the Premier League in 11th? Who you got winning it?
Crystal Palace.
Oh, Crystal Palace. What a lovely club.
Vieira, he's a top coach. He did really well at Nice.
Yeah.
He did really well at Palace last year. I feel like with a few more additions, they finished 12th last year. Elise, Zaha, Edouard, I think he'll get a bit better. Still got a few other players. I feel like they're buying into his ethos. I'd just love to see a few more players there. But I've gone Palace at 11th.
I've put Brighton in at 11th for exactly the same reason that I've got Palace in 13th and Brentford 12th. I think Brighton are a good team. I think Potter's a very good coach. But I just don't see, unless they go and get a forward. Bless Maupay. I think he's a decent player, but you've got to have a bloke that's getting you 16 to 20 goals, right? You've got to have that guy, and I just don't think they have. Right, who's finishing bottom of the top half? Who's finishing in 10th?
This will upset a few people, but I've gone Aston Villa.
You're not upsetting me, Henry. I've also gone for Aston Villa. Do you want to know why?
Go on.
I think Steven Gerrard is a terrible manager.
I agree. I don't understand. I don't understand what. Okay, he won the league with Rangers, but okay, where did they finish last year? 13th.
Yeah.
14th. They finished last year. Yeah, I think they're gonna.
I tell you what, Henry. I looked at Aston Villa, right, and I feel first of all the sacking of Dean Smith I thought was shocking. If I'm honest, I thought it was disgusting for what he'd done. And we see it all the time, don't we? Managers come up, have a good year, they hit their first rocky patch, and it's see you later. Now, then I looked at the Villa squad that he took over. Then I look at adding players like Digne. Coutinho, and I'm thinking, right, kick on. I'm not saying I wanted them to, because obviously I'm a Spurs fan, but you're thinking, right, kick on. You've got creativity in Buendia and Coutinho. You've got central midfield areas with Douglas Luiz, John McGinn. Who's the young lad there? Ramsey?
They got Ramsey. They've got who's the Jamaican guy they signed?
Can't think at the moment. But they've got them. Then they've got in the attacking areas, Henry. You've then got Leon Bailey.
That's the guy, Leon Bailey.
Right. You've got Traore. You've got Ings. You've got Watkins. Buendia, Coutinho. Then you've got Digne, Matty Cash. And I'm looking at it thinking, all right, I'm not expecting Villa to get Europe. But 14th with all of that talent. And some of the games I watched them play, they looked absolutely null and void of any ideas. And Gerrard didn't know what he was doing. Sorry, for me, another one. He's managing a Premier League team because his name's Steven Gerrard, right? If his name was, look at Steve Cooper, what he did at Forest last year. From bottom to promotion, right? I tell you now, if Steve Cooper had that Villa squad, they'd be much better than they are under Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, I agree.
But the reason I've got them 10th is because they do have players, and they have signed again Diego Carlos. Who did I say they signed? They signed Diego Carlos. They got Coutinho on a permanent basis. They signed the central midfielder whose name has gone right out of my head at the moment.
Kamara.
I'm sure I saw them get another one as well. I think they signed another player yesterday.
Coutinho on a permanent.
Yeah. And I think the players alone will see Gerrard through, but I just feel like he's a really, really poor manager. I'm sorry. I don't know what he's done.
Yeah, I agree. For some reason, I've got no one written down for 9th, but I've got 8th. Who have I missed in the league?
You've missed someone. Just quickly, we've got another super chat. Johnny, be good. Thank you very much. This is your 3rd visit into the super chats. Much appreciated. 50% to charity. Has said Musa Niakate, the mains captain, or Mons captain, an undercard type player. He was one of my choices as left centre back. Good player, good signing for us. Will definitely leave next season. We see it a lot, don't we, Johnny? We see players that come in, they'll go to a Fulham, a Forest, someone who's come up, have a good year. Next thing you know, they'll be at an Everton, a Newcastle. So fair play to them. Let's keep an eye on that guy. I'm just jealous that they've actually gone and bought a centre half. But we won't go down that route. Henry, who you got in 9th?
I for some reason, I haven't got. Who have you got as 9th? I haven't got. I've done that. For some reason, I've skipped to 9th. Who have you got at 9th?
At 9th, I've got West Ham. I've got West Ham at 9th. I feel like last year was a lot taken out of them, playing week in, week out, Europa League. I don't see that they've done enough in the market. I mean, I'm looking what they've done. They've bought a centre-half who I didn't know, I'll be honest. They bought Areola, who was already there on loan. I don't feel like they've got, again, the squad deep enough to challenge. And I think other teams above them have strengthened. So I've got West Ham at 9th.
I've only written down 19th. Who have I missed in the Premier League? Done Bournemouth, Fulham, Everton, Southampton, Leeds, Brentford, Wolves, Brighton, Leicester, Palace, Villa. I've missed someone.
We'll find it. It doesn't matter. We'll be all right. Have you got anyone in 8th?
8th, Newcastle.
Newcastle, talk to me.
They're gonna buy more additions. They've got a potless pit of cash. Botman, Bruno Guimaraes. I think that Paqueta from Lyon. I think he'll go there. I've just got a feeling they're going to be really, really strong. I can see them rivaling for the Conference League. I think they're going to have a really, really good year. I really like. I can't remember who their coach is now. Eddie Howe. I really like him as a coach. And I just think they're going to have a great year. Callum Wilson. I'm expecting Callum Wilson to get 15 goals.
Right. And I think that's the big thing. I think a lot of people forget that last year. Newcastle had such a strange season. I think when Eddie Howe joined in like end of October, November, they were rock bottom, right, with 2 points or something. And then only 2 teams got more points than them, I think, or 3 teams got more points than them between then and the end of the season. I don't think that they're going to be 8th because I haven't named them yet, and I've got Leicester City in 8th.
Nah.
So I'll tell you why. Can I tell you why I've got Leicester in 8th?
That means Newcastle for you are going to get the Europa League or the Conference League.
Hang on. I might have them in 4th. You don't know. Right. Let me make my case. The reason I think Leicester made a lot of good signings last summer that I think didn't get a chance to properly settle because of all the injuries at Leicester. And I think some of those will come through and start to be good, like Patson Daka. Vardy missed a lot of the season. I think if they keep, Fofana missed nearly all of the season.
ACL, Samore, Justin.
Right.
So they've got a really good young left back as well.
Yeah, and they've not got Europe, right, this year?
Don't rate Rodgers.
Okay. Listen, I'm not the Rodgers cheerleading squad. I just feel that they might have enough there. But look, they haven't really made a move in this market, have they?
No. I don't think they've signed anyone.
And Rodgers was the one that came out a few months ago and said, we're definitely having a he used the R word. We're definitely having a rebuild this summer. So are we going to see Leicester move?
No. I think, so what are we on, 7th? West Ham.
God, you've put in the pie keys, have you?
Jared Bowen.
You're obsessed by Jared Bowen, aren't you?
I think I think that he gets. Everyone talks about Saka. All these fans. No one really talks about Bowen. Okay. I think Jared Bowen's going to have an unbelievable season, and I'm even going to go out that far on a limb, right?
Just quickly,
you ready,
Jack? This is the second time I think you've said Bournemouth. We both had Bournemouth bottom of the table. Bournemouth were about 13 positions ago, my friend. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I think Jared Bowen is going to hit a 24 goal contribution season.
Okay.
I think he's going to do really well. I can see him getting 16 goals.
Okay.
I know you might be turning your eyes up, but they can afford to rotate him and he can play 1 game a week.
Listen, I'm not doubting it. I like Bowen. I don't think he's a bad player. I think the test for me is
a but there, though, isn't there? There's a but.
Look, the test for me is can he do it again? In a good year.
I'll throw 3 questions at you.
Go on.
Bowen or Richarlison?
So say that again.
Bowen or Richarlison? You take Bowen every day of the week.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what Richarlison gives you is that option to play down the middle as a forward.
He got 12 goals last year, Jared Bowen, right, in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And he got 10 assists. That is very good.
Very good. Can I answer this question in January when they've both had 6 months in the Premier League to do their thing? Look, I take both. I feel like it's difficult because Richarlison, again, to be fair to him, was in a really poor team. Bowen, I do like, though. He just looks like one of those guys you want around the squad. Like, he will just run and run and run. But with the running, he finishes his dinner. And that's really important. Not to just be a workhorse, but to finish your dinner. So that's 7th. You've got West Ham, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've got Newcastle getting a Conference League. I'm going to tell you why. The form, first of all, I'm going to take into account they don't have Europe. I think this is a massive thing for some clubs, right? They don't have Europe, right? if they can keep Callum Wilson fit, they're talking about bringing in players like Isak, right? They've already brought in Bruno. Can you see me?
No, I can't. I think something's died. I just heard something die.
Yeah, I heard something die. One second.
Unplug your camera and just connect your webcam back up.
1 second, mate. 1 second. 1 second. Technical issues. Technical issues. Let me keep talking while I do this. I think I think that for me, sorry, that's really bad, isn't it? I don't know why that's happened. And now it won't go back on. I think the thing for me is I completely lost my trail of thought. Am I back?
Are you on your webcam now?
I'm back. I don't know what's happening here, mate.
Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. So for me, I think the big thing is, yes, there we go. Is that better? Am I back?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I think the big thing for me with Newcastle is they've not got any Europe. I think they have got, isn't it funny? Now I'm not coming up orange.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
I don't know what's happened. Anyway, ignore me, everybody. Ignore me. I'm so sorry about that. I think as well as not having any Europe, if I can get past that sentence, if they keep Callum Wilson fit or score goals, I think Bruno Guimaraes is an excellent signing that has now settled. I think signings like Botman targets an established left back in the league. Who else did they sign that I thought was really, really good? Kieran Trippier. I feel like they're going to buy 3 or 4 more, mate. I really, really do feel like they're going to buy 3 or 4 more. And if they do, I feel like they could be in that Conference League. And the worry for, I think, the rest of the league is if they do get European football, they'll be able to attract even better caliber of players. That's the worry for me.
Yeah, I agree. I had them at 8th, battling 6th. Who have you gone for 6th?
Perfect. So, yeah, it was. Do you know what? Whatever's happened this time, it's not making me orange, and it's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. I love that. In 6th, I have gone for the Gooners. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, I've gone Arsenal as well.
Gone Arsenal. Why do we not see them getting into that top 4? What are they lacking? The Arsenal.
A manager. Simple as that. Arteta is a terrible, terrible coach. 2 8th place finishes and a 5th place finish. The only thing capable in his job was that FA Cup. They talk about process, or team youth when it's really Saka and Smith Rowe. Kulusevski is the same age as Saka, but no one talks about that.
Yeah.
Or he might be a year older now. Yeah, I think they're going to struggle to get top 4. I don't think they've got the squad. I don't think they've got the firepower. I don't think Gabriel Jesus is going to come in and set the world alight like everyone thinks he is. I think he's going to take time to embed to a new system.
Yeah.
Nketiah, not really a fan. I think he'll get. I think they'll do. However, I do think they'll do well in the Europa League. I think they'll go semis of the Europa, depending on who drops out of the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, I feel like they've got a lot to do if they're going to catch the teams above them, the Arsenal. I don't know if they've... I mean, I think Jesus is a good signing for them. Is it enough from a goal-scoring perspective? I feel like they might need another. I still feel like they need another centre-half, although lots of people are talking about with Saliba coming back, that will be a partnership with Saliba and Gabriel. That remains to be seen. Then what do they do with Ben White? And in central midfield, can Partey stay fit? So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm just looking. I just saw a comment that made me laugh. Somebody said Savva has already got an agenda against Richarlison. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I've said tonight that means I've got an agenda against Richarlison. Yeah. Absolutely mad. I'm not sure what you heard wherever that comment has gone, but apologies for my agenda. 5th place, Henry.
United.
Same. Why? Why have we not got them in the Champions League?
If they buy a proper goal scorer though, I think it'll be really close between 4th and 5th. If they buy a proper number 9, I just feel like if Ronaldo goes, who else is there going to get you 20 a season in that team?
Yeah.
I might as well tell you who I've got a 4th. I've got Spurs at 4th, right? You compare us to them, Kane and Son could get 20 a season, right? Ronaldo, if he goes, who's going to bag you 20 a season? Rashford's highest season in the last 2 years is 10 goals, right? Greenwood is not an out-and-out goal scorer. He's more of a creative, kind of a flair player. I just don't see them. I don't see them,
Yeah.
Football Ferreira said, who can they buy properly? Shamaka would be a great start they could buy. Replying to Football Ferreira. Lautaro Martinez, another good forward. They just need more. If they don't get a striker, they need more goal scoring wingers, and I don't think they can do that.
Yeah, I think. I think with Man United again, it's going to be about can they get that solid midfield? Because for me, I think as much as I think McTominay and Fred are decent players, do they offer enough for a team in the top that wants to be top 4? I don't feel like it does. It's going to be interesting to see what Man United do this season, but I still got them down in 5th. So let's rattle through these last 4. 4th place, you've already said it. You've gone for Tottenham Hotspur. Why? Why are Tottenham 4th and not any higher?
A full pre-season on the Conte, I think, we're really going to strengthen, the morale and the actual tactics in the squad. I don't think we'll finish higher than Chelsea. A lot of our fans are saying, "Oh yeah, but Chelsea are dropping off." I mean, the last 3 days, Koulibaly, Ake, Kimpembe, Sterling, and this new owner looks like he's not going to stop there. He's going to go out and buy more and more and more. I just feel like it's the right. I just feel like Chelsea have just got a lot more quality in midfield, and I think that's where it's going to be won. Mount, Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante. If they bring back Gallagher as well, it's another player. I just feel like I don't know why our fans are writing them off, but
just quickly, Bob Coys. When people say this, I'm always baffled. When people say about Man City, in a team that scored 99, he only got 10. I think Foden got 10. I think Mahrez got about 12. I think Gundogan got about 10. Silva got about 10. De Bruyne got about 12. That's what they do. They're not like Spurs. They don't have 2 players that go and score 30. But as you are, okay, so literally you don't think Spurs have done enough to
not yet. However, if we bring in a Madison, a Bastoni, then I thought we get 3rd.
Okay, look, I'm with you, mate. I also have Tottenham Hotspur in 4th. Look, again, I'll take my Spurs hat off. I think if you're a Spurs fan, I think a lot of fans getting really, really, really excited by the number of signings rather than what the signings are. I feel so far at the moment we've not done anything that makes me go, wow. I know a lot of fans hate me for saying that, but I think we've made some sensible signings. But I think when you get to this level, when you get from 4th to 3rd to 2nd to win it, it's not sensible signings all the time that do that. You need some game changers. And I don't think we've done that yet. I'm saying the word yet because there's still time. But when I look at things like I watched the game today, and straight away when I watched the game, yes, it's a friendly, but straight away it made me realise just how bad our wing backs are. For example, you can't finish top 3 and win a league with wing backs like that. So for me, still Spurs in 4th, and I'm guessing then that you've got Chelsea in 3rd.
Chelsea in 3rd, yeah.
I'm guessing we don't need to go too deep into it. We talked about Chelsea at the beginning for all the reasons you just said, right? The fact that they can go out in one day and go, right, Sterling done, Koulibaly medical tomorrow is going to be done, Kimpembe and Ake will be done.
And
If they get Gnabry, they don't mess about. I think when they go and make a signing, it feels like they don't mess about with it, Henry. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Wolves F5, Liverpool dropping to 7th.
Who said that?
Wolves FI. Is that a troll or is that?
I don't know. I can't see. I mean, Henry, let's talk about it. We've got 5 minutes left. Let's talk about it. Have you got Liverpool or City in second?
Nah, Liverpool second, City to win the league. I think
here's the question.
I just feel like they're. I think no one really knows how good of a player Haaland is. Like, if Haaland wasn't at City,
yeah,
I would say, okay, it could go down to the wire again. But I feel like now they're going to absolutely blitz everyone. I can see City getting a late 90-point season again. Haaland probably bagging 20, 25 in a team that scores, like 100 goals a year. I feel like Liverpool have still got obviously Salah, still got Jota, Diaz, Firmino, Darwin Núñez. But for me, they're not going to get anywhere near City.
I think that's the key thing for me, Henry, when we look at the top two for me is, yes, it was was it a point or 2 points in the end last season? When I look at City, Haaland just takes them from there to there. Calvin Phillips coming in to replace Fernandinho for that place in the squad. Alvarez as another goal scorer. So now you think, all right, they've lost Sterling, who gets them X amount of goals a year, but you chuck in Alvarez and Haaland's goals on top of Foden, Grealish, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Gundogan.
Oh, it's just frightening.
It is frightening, and I just feel like they're going to win the league this year by even more points. I don't think it will go down to the last game of the season. That's just my opinion. Henry, we've done our 1-20 just really quickly before we jump off in. We're going to jump off in 3 minutes. Who have you got down as your top goal scorer in the Premier League?
Mine stuck between two players.
Get your arse off the fence. Pick one. Come on.
I'm going to go Mohamed Salah.
Mo Salah.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Haaland. It's 51% Salah, 49% Haaland. Purely because Liverpool don't have a massive amount of other goal scorers. Whereas City still have De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Alvarez, Haaland. I just feel like Salah's now definitely the main man. It was Mane thought he was better than Salah. Salah thought he was better than Mane. But I don't blame people for putting Haaland. I really don't.
So you're going Salah. I'm going to see your Salah and I'm going to raise you a Haaland. Now, as everything, Henry, I use the word caveat about 15,000 times a day. I'm going to caveat that and say this is all dependent, right, on fitness. Somebody here has said, could Haaland do a Lukaku? Absolutely not. Haaland is a beast of a footballer playing for one of the best teams in the world and the best team in England. I just feel like Haaland, I think what we said the other day when we were talking with Bob and Coover and those guys, I just feel, Henry, that there will be games where Haaland sticks in 4 or 5, maybe 2 or 3 times a season against centre-halves like Forest's and Bournemouth's and Fulham. And I just don't know. I just feel like he could rack up 10 goals easily in 3 games.
Harry Kane did it, didn't he? He got 7 against Hull and Leicester. Like in 2 games, he got 7 goals. Yeah.
So I feel like Haaland for me, again, one thing I would say about Haaland is the fact that he hasn't got the World Cup either.
I want to ask you something quickly as well now. This is off subject. Do you think the team that Tottenham had with Moussa Dembele, Rose, Walker, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, Kane, Eriksen, Son, Dele Alli, Wanyama is better than the current Liverpool squad now?
Than the current Liverpool squad? No.
How
Because
close is it for you?
it's
Take
not.
away depth. Just look at 11.
See, this is a whole different conversation, isn't it? Because the reason why that team didn't win anything was because of depth. So when we're saying take away depth, an 11.
So just look at the 11, like Alisson against Lloris. Then
still, I mean, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Liverpool is still stronger, but it's quite. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say they're miles apart.
No, it's not miles apart. I think again, the word depth does change everything for me. So Liverpool, we know they rotate those players in and out, right? So Salah can miss next week, but come in the week after. I think the problem was that team played week in, week out every week. So really difficult to say. I thought your original question was going to be against this Spurs team versus that Spurs team.
Oh, that Spurs team would absolutely annihilate us.
Oh, I was gonna remove you from the stream. Like, that Spurs team pisses all over this Spurs team. Just quickly, Henry, I know you've got to go. So, player of the year.
Erling Haaland.
Me too.
Young player of the year as well. Erling Haaland. He'll get both.
I've got it again. I've got him doing a clean sweep of the top scorer, player of the year, and young player of the year.
Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever done that?
I know players have won.
Have.
I know players have won the young player and the player of the year. I don't know if they also got top goal scorer. That's a great quiz.
I think Thierry Henry might have done it.
I mean, you've got to be some sort of freak of nature to be getting those sorts of figures. I mean, look, Henry, let's leave it there. I mean, we will do this again every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Just think this time next week, what we are going to do, we are going to have a look at the signings that have been made between now and then. We'll have some friendlies to talk about. And next week's show, we're also going to do a little bit more. I say a little bit more. We haven't done any this week. We're going to dive into the Champions League for next season. Guys and girls in the chat, thank you very much. We really appreciate all of your likes, all of your subscribers, subscriptions rather, all of your super chats. As you know, 50% of that goes to charity. Please, if anyone would like to, you can still like, subscribe, super chat after the show. Please do. Henry, much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Everyone in the chat, thank you very much. And if you want to follow Henry or I on Instagram, come over. We'll happily chat to you on there as well. Thank you very much. See you later, everyone.